Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a Gepard listener by me. So let's get into it. You knew your boyfriend was one hell of a man. That was for sure. You loved him in many ways. In the ways that he was so protective over you. And in the ways that once he would come back from work and try to rest with you, as little as the time that the two of you had in a normal day, he always made the most of it. The two of you decided to cook together as you would talk about his day, making note to leave those little touches, an arm around your waist, a kiss on your forehead, all in between the cooking. No wonder the food was made with love. Meals that were made with him, they always tasted the best. Maybe it was because of the way you enjoyed it, or the way you enjoyed looking into his eyes as you would eat, and the way he would laugh at whatever you would tell him. It could be a silly joke or a simple mistake, but he would laugh at them all the same. And his smiles, they were truer than all. If anything, being with Gepard, it enchanted you in many ways, and made your heart full and warm, even in the coldness of the city that the two of you had resided in. And mostly, you had ached to see one thing out of all those things that has been on your mind for a while. The two of you may have been close enough to live in the same space, in the same house, yes. But as for sleeping, each of you had their own room. He was still trying to get used to the idea that the two of you may be sleeping in the same room. It all felt very new to him. It was something he was going to have to adjust to. And it wasn't necessarily bad, just new, different, and something he might want to try later on. But being in different rooms and not having Summer on your side, you never really had the opportunity to see him shirtless. And you had wanted that for a while now. Those muscles of his, what with him being the captain and all, you were kind of just aching to be able to see what's underneath the turtleneck that he wears whenever he gets home. And honestly, maybe Jaipur shouldn't be hiding that from you, though it might be the correct decision. Who knows? Maybe your heart will stop once you see him, with how gorgeous he is, and how beautiful he looks like. You don't expect that that will be so far from the truth. So maybe he's doing you a good deed, and the entire world, by keeping that chest covered up. Regardless, you were still willing to take the risk, and that's why, when he had went to shower, you decided that you would wait for him outside and actually make it so he can't find his turtleneck. Once he was in the shower and pulled the curtain, you had went in to fetch something. That's what they had told him, and you were not lying. You just took the turtleneck to his room, and that's why he was out, wearing pants and nothing actually on top, leaving you to see him shirtless in all his glory. And damn, was he good looking. He was everything you had imagined and more. Everything you could ever want. He was a man of your dreams. But right here, it was not dreamland, no. It was reality. And you were truly seeing Gepard shirtless for the first time. And he was just as beautiful as you had ever imagined. He looked at you and fidgeted, looking away, clearing his throat awkwardly. Is something wrong, Guyan? He mumbled, and you could tell he was blushing. And he was shy. Perhaps that would be one of the few times you saw him being that way. But it only made this more memorable for you, and you found yourself chuckling, walking over to him. A couple of things, perhaps, he said softly, going closer and closer, and he felt his breath catch in his throat. He did not really account for this possibility. He had meant to slip away to his room quickly, put on his turtleneck, and be done with it. And that's when he also noticed, upon closer inspection, that there was a scar on his chest. And you trailed your fingers over it, making his breath itch, and his cheeks get even redder. So, when did you get this? A long time ago. I was still training. Really? And what happened? He then told you about the way he had accidentally slashed himself with a sword. It sounded like a silly mistake, and you couldn't help but giggle, pressing a soft kiss to the scar. It was not the only one. There were many others, and many other memories and stories stored into them, and you were willing to know and appreciate each and every single one. And Gepard, his heart was on fire, and so were his cheeks. They were bright red, a rosy color that he had not had the chance to see before, that you were now admiring, leaning up to kiss them too. You look beautiful, you know that, he mumbled teasingly, and he smiled, taking a deep breath and wrapping his arms around you, leaning in to give you a soft kiss. And so are you. Let me guess. You walked into the bathroom to take my turtleneck. And damn, he had really caught you. But you can't really say anything about that. Perhaps, he mumbled softly, and he found himself laughing warmly and hugging you closer until you had laid your head on his chest, admiring those abs of his. But then he had pulled away. Well, next time you want to see me shirtless, we can always do that in our room. Our? Do you mean? Yes, we could try, if you want. He mumbled, a little bit more shy now. He didn't actually mean to take that step so quickly, but his heart told him that it would be good and he would like it. And he would at least like to have to sleep in the same room with you, to wake up to you in his arms. And it certainly didn't seem like a bad idea. So what do you know? Maybe stealing that turtleneck had saved you a lot of doing so in the future, as you now had full privilege to see him shirtless and more.